Welcome back. Now, a day after the Election Commission of India filed an affidavit in the Supreme Court arguing that disclosing voter turnout based on Form 17C, which includes records of all votes polled at each polling station, could confuse voters, Rajya Sabha MP and senior advocate Kapil Sibal has questioned the same. Mincing no words, Sibal says there is no legal provision to upload the data of Form 17C on the website, while questioning why there is a delay and hesitation in releasing the data. Earlier, the poll highlighted that this data would encompass postal ballot counts, potentially misleading the public assertions by ECI to the Supreme Court in an affidavit on the eve of a crucial hearing that has the potential to generate a lot of controversy, especially at a time when the opposition led by the Congress has been raising doubts about the big difference between real-time voter turnout data and final figures. They have been claiming that the spike of votes from the initial numbers raised by the EC in the last 4 phases is something that needs to be investigated at this point. Let me go across at this point to my colleague Harish, but before that, let's listen into what Kapil Sibal had to say.
Data is available with the Election Commission. Now, why does the Election Commission not put that data on the website? What's the problem? What can happen in the process is that the number of votes that are counted may in fact be more than the number of votes that are polled. Now, we don't know whether that is correct or not. It may well not be correct. But what is the hesitation of the Election Commission not to put that data on record?
Let me go across to my colleague Harish, who is joining us with more details. Harish, if you can break it down for our viewers, what is the gist of the objection that is being raised by Kapil Sibal today?
Yes, in fact, Ritanshu, the whole controversy is about the very detailed affidavit the Election Commission of India has filed in the Supreme Court a day before the hearing. Tomorrow, the Supreme Court will be once again hearing the petition filed by the Association for Democratic Reforms seeking uploading of the entire poll data constituency-wise and also uploading the 17C, that is the entire polling data per the constituency. But now, in the affidavit filed in response to the PIL, the Election Commission of India has said that it is, in fact, the Election Commission is not mandated by law, nor the voter has a statutory right or legal right to seek publication of such a data, and also says that publication of such a data can lead to mischief like morphing of the images, which could lead to distrust among the voters as far as the electoral process is concerned. And answering and also answering another aspect, the ECI says that the data which is given on the polling day does not include the postal ballots, which are in large numbers in each constituency. So the common man does not understand the difference between the original data and the data which includes postal data, and that could result in some misunderstanding and once again casting of aspersion on the electoral system. And regarding the delay in publication of the data, the Election Commission of India says several constituencies are in very far-flung areas, especially in the northern states, mountainous terrain, so data comes late. In fact, all these have been put in the affidavit by the ECI because Prashant Bhushan-led Association of Democratic Reforms, just like the opposition parties, have questioned the discrepancy, that is the difference, huge difference between the data released by the Election Commission of India on the polling date and the subsequent increase in the data. They say that in the initial first and second phases,
Absolutely.
the final data
and that is
was
the brass
15
tack,
and
Harish.
67%
In fact, at
polling.
the end of the day,
Then it had gone up to 65 to 66%.
Yes, and Harish, that is, I think, is the main headline for our viewers who are trying to understand a very complicated picture that has come out at this point from the Election Commission here. Why is there a gap of or increase of about 2 to 3% on in every phase of election so far, from the initial reports on the day of polling two to 3 days later when the Election Commission comes up with revised figures. Harish, thank you so much for breaking it down to our viewers. I understand it's really hot, but I really appreciate you taking the time out and explaining it to our viewers. But now let's put it across to my guests who are joining us. We have Pradeep Mahor, who's representing the BJP, and Sulaiman Mohammad Khan, who's representing the Congress at this point. Mohammad Khan, I'll come to you first. If I can sum up what the average Twitter or a social media user could be saying at this point, who's not very convinced by the story, the sentiment is that the Congress, after raising a bogey about EVM, is now trying to find something wrong even in the voter turnouts. Yeah. How does the Congress address that skepticism?
Look, our assertion that there is confusion and there is manipulation being done is based, or fear of manipulation being done is based on the data which has been released by the Election Commission. The Election Commission's data itself is creating confusion. Now, it has never happened. It is unprecedented that the real-time data and the data which is the final poll votes have been released on the website of the Election Commission after 11 or 12 days. Why this has happened? It's a 48 hours, process. Former election commissioners have given, media bites and have said that it hardly takes 48 hours to release the data on the website of Election Commission. Why 12 days? For the first 4 phases of the election, for 380 Lok Sabha seats, there is a difference of 1.7 crore votes, 0.7 crore votes, like 1 crore 7 lakh votes. And that means 28,000 votes per constituency, Lok Sabha constituency. Is it small? It's huge. How has this happened? And, it's not Congress party's responsibility. We as a opposition party is asking the Election Commission. ADR, which is a activist lawyers organization, have filed a petition in the Supreme Court. They are agitating the legal issue. We as a opposition party is asking, or the Election Commission has become an extended hand of Bharatiya Janata Party and Mr. Modi. And why Bharatiya Janata Party is defending the Election Commission of India? If there is, difference or difference in the real-time data and the final data which has been released after 10, 12 days, BJP should also say, and the party in power should also say that there is a difference and it should be checked. And
Okay, let's ask the party in power. Pradeep Mahor is
democracy,
joining us. Pradeep
just
Mahor,
final point, in a constitutional
Mahor, the
democracy,
numbers
the
don't
whole
lie.
edifice
There is a
free and fair election.
just 1 second, Mr. Khan, let Pradeep Mahar respond. You have asked a question, let Mr. Mahar respond from the BJP. Sir, the numbers don't lie. On one hand, it is unprecedented. I have been seeing elections for the past 10 years. A lot of my colleagues have been doing it for far longer. This is a third, fourth election. We have never seen turnouts change so drastically by more than 2 or 3%. 2 to 3 days after the date of polling has ended. And then there's also this, as Mr. Mohammad Khan was pointing out, there's also this discrepancy of almost 1.7 lakh votes being added at the end of the phases so far. Clearly, there is enough discrepancy, or at least there's enough headline value in these numbers changing to merit some questions being asked.
Look, there are two different issues that need to be addressed. Issue number one is delay in reporting the data.
Okay.
Right. So, as far as the delay in reporting the data, BJP is equally concerned. Every party is concerned because everybody wants data on time. I mean, there is nothing like, BJP would be happy that, data is released on a later date or something like that. There's nothing like that. The second issue is discrepancy in the data. And that is the major issue that needs to be discussed, addressed. And if any party, including Congress, if they have some genuine thing in hand, they should come forward and tell everybody that this is what is happening, this is the discrepancy that is happening. As far as the discrepancy part is concerned, there is a procedure of Form 17C. And in the polling booths, there are the representatives of each and every candidate. The signature of each and every candidate is taken on that form, where the complete data, how many people had come, how many people were, how many voters were disqualified, means they were not allowed to vote. Each and every data is there. And if any party finds any kind of a discrepancy or error into this, that definitely needs to be addressed, and that should be taken to the court, and election commission should be taken on the corner on this. But what they're doing is They are playing on some kind of a, creating a fuss. Data is released on the later date,
Okay.
first. Second, now because it is released on the later date, there has to be some issue. What rubbish is this? If there is some issue, your people are there, your representatives are there, ask them to bring their Form 17C and match it. If
Okay,
the
fair
data
enough. Let's
released
put that
by
across
Election
the.
Commission and 17C, there is some discrepancy, they have a legal right to even cancel the election at that place. No, so why don't they right? So they are just
That's a fair
trying to
point.
confuse the
Suleiman
people of
Mohammad
India.
Khan,
They
what
have
the
nothing in
gist
hand.
of
That's what
Pradeep
I'm saying.
Maur's
Congress,
argument is
Congress has a tendency
that if
to
there is a
fool people.
discrepancy in numbers, one second. We are having a very civil debate on the basis of points. Let's keep the point scoring for along for a side. Suleiman Mohan Khan, the gist of Pradeep Mao's argument is that yes, if there is a discrepancy in the numbers, that is something which is concerning for all political parties. There are adequate methods to redress them. One of them is what Mr. Kapil Sibal has done and asked the Election Commission through the Supreme Court. Why does the Congress feel the need to immediately call it a conspiracy and call the Election Commission the B team of the BJP and then say there's something, and in Hindi, as they say, create a hawa or something that's going on? Because that only makes the Congress look like someone who believes in sour grapes, that when you win state elections, the Election Commission is neutral, everything is going on fine. But if and when you lose elections, then something is going wrong. Either EVM में fraud हो रहा है or Election Commission is trying to somehow come up with surplus votes.
What the BJP representative said, that once there is a delay, they said there is manipulation. Delay is one thing, and then a difference of 5 to 6% for first two phases, that is staggering. Naturally it will create a apprehension that manipulation has been done. Such a big percentage of difference, 5 to 6% for first two phases, and that too released after 11 days. That is the question. As far as Congress party is concerned, the election is
Okay.
still 5 phases, 2 phases have left. As per our internal surveys, the India Alliance is forming a comfortable majority. We are forming the government. But when it's not only the Congress party, general people are saying that if there is no manipulation, agar बेईमानी नहीं करेंगे, तो सरकार India Alliance की आएगी. अगर बेईमानी होगी तो नहीं आएगी. General people are saying, you go on the ground, people are asking us if there is election commission. And what election commission? Is there any election commission left? Every day there is a violation of model code of conduct by the Prime Minister, Home Minister and BJP leaders. Has MCC not violated? Has Representations of People's Act not violated? What has happened? Nothing. They are sitting like paper tigers. Second very important point. Rituraj, I have seen with my own eyes. I'm telling you a personal experience, very important. On 5th of December 2022, I belong to district Rampur of UP. By-election to Rampur Assembly constituency happened on 5th of December 2022. I am a voter. In front of my own eyes, I have seen people being stopped from voting. Police and the administration beat people black and blue. Thousands and thousands of people were stopped from voting. And since independence, for the first time, BJP has won that election by a robbery done by Election Commission, Police Prashasana and the
Now,
administration.
obviously, Suleiman Mohammad Khan, I respect your personal anecdote, but you will
this.
appreciate at this point that as a news channel, we have no means of verifying your story. But what I can do is,
it's
I
all
can
on the
ask
news.
Pradeep Mao the question that the reason why, sir, the Congress or any opposition finds it suspicious every time there's some sort of a discrepancy, some sort of an abnormality in the Election Commission's processes, that we have seen cases like that. May I remind you of what happened with the Chandigarh local elections very recently? Even in this election, we have seen cases of underage voters coming in, of people coming in voting multiple times. And the reason why there is suspicion is that in all these cases, from Chandigarh to Lekar, even in the cases that have gone viral this time as well, the beneficiary has always been the BJP. Except for West Bengal, I will keep that to you, except for West Bengal. In every other cases, the beneficiary of any sort of a failure of the system or by the Election Commission has always been the BJP.
No, it's not like beneficiary is BJP. I mean, this is just like, we are taking the story to one side. First of all, let me address, what Mr. Khan was saying. One thing is very clear. They are sending their representatives to the polling booths, and those representatives are educated people. If there is some discrepancy, those representatives are having their data. They should have reported Congress, and Congress should have come with a concrete data. This is the number. This is the number reported by our people. This is Form 17C. That is what we have in hand. And this is the rate data that is reported by Election Commission. And that discrepancy should have been made clear. So they are not doing this. Major issue is this time when they are going to lose the election, they have to blame it on somebody. They have to blame it on somebody. And how can they blame it on their pretty Rahul Gandhi? so they cannot blame it on Rahul Gandhi. So they have to blame it on. I mean, the best somebody who can be blamed. It will be EVM, Election Commission, things like this. So they are trying to create a story from now. They are not waiting for the election to be over because they know they have already lost and they are already lost in the game. So because they are lost, so they have to create some story. So they have started cooking up the story. Before the end of the month, they have started cooking up the stories. They have started
I'll have to
making,
wrap up
the
the debate here,
narratives
but we
how
will
to
be focusing
defend
on this through
themselves
prime time
after
as well.
losing the
Pradeep
election.
Maur and Sulaiman Mohammad Khan, thank you so much for joining us with your views. I would say that yes, the questions over the discrepancy of numbers is something that is a concern which both the BJP and Congress are on the same party as well. But it's important not to eclipse this with political rhetoric, because it's important that the real issue of numbers be transparent as much as possible. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's now switch